Okay, now I'm going to show you the slab technique. When you're doing this, you're going to need a rolling pin and make sure that you are working on a canvas, not on a rag, but a canvas, a thicker rag. When you start the slab technique, make sure you're starting with a rectangle after you get done kneading it. What you're going to first do is slam the clay down, flip it over, slam it down. And by doing that, it's going to flatten out. It's going to start flattening out on its own. And it'll look more like a pancake. Then you're going to stand up. You're going to lean against your canvas right here. That will hold it in place. You're going to use your rolling pin. And you're going to use your body weight to press the slab down. Alright? You want to continue rolling this in different ways so that it makes a circle. Now, if you want a longer slab, you can continue to roll one way. If you need a thicker slab, then you can roll on all sides. But I'm really not having to press too hard. If this is too hard, it means your clay might need some more water. Alright. Keep alternating back and forth. And then therefore you have a slab. It should be about the thickness of our needle tools. Okay, once you have rolled out a slab, you can use it for things such as creating blocks that you would build with. Let's say you're making an animal, you can use this as different ears. You can cut out your letters from here. So I'm going to show you just how to cut out the bases, the parts for if you were making a bookend, the parts that would hold it together. You would want something as your guide. And the first thing I would do is, instead of cutting all the way through, is to draw lightly on there. So instead of cutting all the way through, because then if you mess up, you can actually go in here and erase. So don't cut all the way through. Then once you've gotten the shape that you want, keep working with it. Once you've got the shape you want and you don't need to erase anything, then you can go in here and cut all the way through it. Now when you're using the needle tool, you want to make sure you do not angle it. You want to make sure you're holding it straight up and down. Alright, so for this project we're doing decorative bookends. So I'm going to make two parts the same size. This is going to be what holds everything together. Okay. I like how that looks, so I'm going to cut it out. One thing that's important with this is I would position these so that you have all this extra. And when you get done, I wouldn't ball all this up. You could use this for other parts of your project. Alright, so this is also important. Remove your clay. Remove that from them. Don't move them from it. Like that. Now you didn't have to mess these up by trying to pick them up. Alright. So, right, another thing that's neat with the slab technique is you can actually take things that you have printed out. So, let's say okay, so I have the base for my project. Lay those to the side. I'm going to use what's left of my slab to make some other parts. So I would actually like these to be a little thinner. So I'm going to take my rolling pin and just roll this a little thinner for the words. Right. you can send me a picture. This could be a design or letters or a font. So I'm just going to use this. I'm going to cut out the 6. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down here at the bottom. And before I begin, I'm going to take a newspaper and put my canvas on there. And you'll see why in a second, why that's so important. Alright, so I'm going to go in here and I'm actually going to poke dots around. And you can do this with an image. Say you had a logo. I'm just poking in dots. When you get done, you can lift this up. And that left the impression of the 6. I would go in there and lightly trace over there. Remember to draw light. Alright. Then you could use that and go in there and actually cut around. Remember to hold your needle tool upright. Now this is going to have some little parts, so you'll see why we put the newspaper on there in just a second. Now I'm going to remove the clay from around the number 6. Like so. So now I don't have, this 6 is so small, if I tried to move it a whole lot, then it would mess this up and get wobbly. So that's why we go ahead and put it on the newspaper, that way we don't have to pick it up. Alright. So now the 6 I can move around without having to actually touch it. So you would want to leave that there. Alright, right now, so that's the slab technique. You can use it for building parts that then you can later on put together. You can use it for cutting out letters. You can use it just to make a square that you would then draw in. So that's the slab technique.